Okay, so in lab assignment 8, you need to work with pipes. In 7 also, you have already worked with pipe. Here you will use two system calls. One is dupe and another is dupe 2. Okay, so dupe takes old file descriptor as input parameter. On success, it returns the lowest numbered unused file descriptor as the new file descriptor. Okay, so whenever you are opening a file, uh, okay, I will tell you how this dupe works. So just for now, remember that dupe returns the lowest available file descriptor. For example, 0 file descriptor is for reading, 0 1 is for writing, 2 is for um, error. Okay, so these three are there. So 0 1 2 is already assigned, predefined. So it will assign three file descriptor to new whenever you are using dupe. Okay, so I will tell you how this works. Then similarly, dupe 2 is there. Here in dupe 2, you tell system like I want this new file descriptor to be 4 or to be 5, like this. So you pass on new file descriptor along with the old file descriptor in the argument. Okay, so there are two programs. In first program using pipe, in which parent process writes message to child process and child writes reverse of the message to the parent. Okay, so there are two processes, parent process and child process. You can create these processes using fork. And in pipes, because from one end you are reading and from another end you are writing. Similarly, in so you have to create two pipes. So in first pipe you are just reading, and from second pipe you are writing. Okay, so basically, so in for this program, child and parent processes, these two are there, and one process is reading, another is writing. And similarly, when you want to print the reverse, in that case also you need to take the uh, you need to append. Okay, so in pipe 1 you are writing something, and in pipe 2 you can also write something, and you can append whatever there was in the pipe 1 to it. You can append that and then you can print it. You can append it in the reverse order and then read it from the pipe 1 again. Okay, so that would be the workflow. Okay, similarly in file server program, client server program, you need to create two functions. First is client function and second is server function. And there is interprocess communication, just as you have done interprocess communication in the previous programs. So there's a client program, there is server program, and client passes the file name to the server, and server retrieves the content of the file and passes to the client. So again, there are two pipes, and one is working as client, another is working as server. Okay, now I will tell you basically idea about. So here write a program to implement these three using concepts of pipe. Now these three are there. So okay, so here you are going to use this dupe and dupe 2. Okay, I will tell you how this works. Now let's go on to pipe. So you have already worked with pipe. So in so in pipe, first program output is sent to the right end of the file, and second program takes input end of the pipe. Sorry, this is pipe. And second program takes input from the read end of the pipe. So there is a pipe. One end is for reading, another end is for writing, and uh, uh, in first program you are first program is for reading and second program is for writing. Now because you have two processes, so one process will read and another process will write, like this. Now you are going to read only when one process has finished writing already, right? So if first process is writing, let's say, suppose, so if one process is writing, so second process should wait until first process is finished. So we use sleep, we use wait, such system calls to make another process wait, to make second process wait until first process has finished writing. Okay, then only you will be able to read. So this is the workflow of the pipe. Now P naught wants to write something to P1, P naught will write and P1 will read. Okay, and P1 will be suspended for some time before reading. Why? Because uh, P1 will only read when P naught is finished writing. Okay, writing its content. Okay, then whenever you are using this pipe system call, you are passing file descriptors as input, and it is returning either 0 or -1. 0 means file descriptor is successfully created and -1 is failure. -1 means your file, your pipe is not getting created, failed to generate. Pipe is failed to generate. Okay, then you have working. So whenever you are reading and writing, so one thing is fixed, like writing. For writing, you can write multiple bytes at a time, while you can read only one byte at a time. So this is fixed. Then you have uh, read read and write system call. Now file descriptor 0 is for reading, 0 is for reading, 1 is for writing by default. Okay, so read returns how many bytes. So whenever you are using read system call, so read system call returns how many bytes have been read by you, and read returns -1 if failed. If it is not, whenever you are reading something, you are reading from a file or from console or from anywhere. So if you are reading, that means at that time, if -1 is returned, that means read operation is not successful. Similarly goes for write operation. If write operation returns -1, this means write operation is not successful. Okay. Then you have file descriptors, read and write. So 0 is for standard input. System reads a string to the standard input. And similarly, 1 is for standard output. Basically, whatever you are printing, that goes to console. Okay, that is your standard output. And whenever you are scanning, you are typing something, so that is your standard input. Okay, so standard input 0 is fixed, 1 is fixed, standard output is your console, that is fixed. And similarly standard error, so whenever you are writing standard output, so it directly goes to console. It is, there's no intermediate buffer, and whenever you are printing standard error, it directly goes to console. Okay, so 0 1 2, these three file descriptors are fixed. So whenever you are calling read or calling write, so by default it will read from 0, and by default it will write using file descriptor 1. Okay, so that is default values, these are fixed. Now let's come to dupe system call. So if you want your default file system file descriptors to change, you don't want to read from 0, you don't want to read from 1, write to 1, you don't want to print error using 2, you want 3 4 5 other file descriptors also. So in that case you use a dupe system call. Now dupe system call, what it does is it duplicates the the work that you want to do. For example, rather than from default standard input, what you want to do, you want to take input from a file. You don't want to take input from screen, whatever you are printing. For example, you have written scanf percentage d percentage d and marks of a student. So you are taking input from the keyboard, whatever I'm pressing, I'm pressed 30, and that is by default file descriptor 0, sorry 1. For reading it's 0. Yeah, so for 0, so whenever you are pressing 30, so by default it is assuming that I'm taking input from a keyboard. Okay, so that is your by default standard input. Now you don't want input from keyboard, you want input from a file. Okay, so what you will do is you have to disconnect your terminal from the standard input, which is right now is keyboard and console. Standard input is keyboard, standard output is console, and you want to disconnect your terminal from standard input and output. You want to read from a file and you want to write to a file. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to change the file descriptors. Now dupe allows us to change those file descriptors. Clear? So any doubt up till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let's see how dupe works. So assume like dupe is stored like 0 is for standard input, 1 is for standard output, 2 is for standard error. Now system will always read from 0 standard input and write to 1 or 2. Okay, 1 is standard output, 2 is standard error. Now use dupe to change file descriptors. Now save stdin is a variable, okay? Because I want to change this 0, system will always read from 0. But what I can do is I can reassign 0 from standard input to file from to file from which I want to read. System will always read from 0 and will always write to 1. Okay, but 0 is assigned to standard I input right now. So I want to reassign it to some file. Okay, so save stdin equal to dupe 0. So whatever dupe 0 is, there are this is misplaced here. There would be parenthesis bracket. This is not square bracket, this is a parenthesis, your rounded bracket. Okay, so these two are your rounded bracket. Now you are calling dupe system call with 0. 0 means standard input, and you are saving it to a variable. Right now whatever is your standard input, you want to save it in your save stdin variable. Okay, so right now it was standard input and you are saving it to save stdin for future reference. Suppose you want to reassign it, because right now you are going to change this one. Okay, so save standard input in a file descriptor for later use. Now dupe will duplicate standard input to and duplicate it to the lowest free file descriptor. That is very important. So dupe assigns a number file descriptor that is free, lowest free. So 3 is free, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all are free, but lowest is 3. So dupe will assign standard input and duplicate it to, because we are passing 0. 0 is for standard input. Okay, so standard input will be duplicated and new file descriptor that is assigned is 3. 3 will now point to standard input right now. Okay, you have a look at this. So file descriptor 3. So since the system will always read from standard input, so it will read from file. Now what you will do is you assign your new file descriptor, your file descriptor to 0 instead of standard input, because you have duplicated standard input here. So 3 will be your standard input right now, and uh, 0 will have you are assigning 0 as your new file. Now whenever system will go to read, so instead of reading from a standard input, that is your keyboard, it will read from file, your file. Okay, so you have reassigned. So what dupe is doing is dupe is creating a new file descriptor that is 3, and making it as standard input that was already present as 3. Now instead of 0, it has rechanged it to 3, and now you can assign 0 to your file. Now later on you can delete it. You can again reassign this save stdin where you have saved your old standard input. You can reassign it to your to 0. Okay, that you will do using dupe2 system call. Now there is dupe2 system call. So in dupe 2 you have seen, you also tell like I want this file descriptor 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along with the file descriptor that you want to change. So old file descriptor as well as new file descriptor. You pass two values. In dupe you just pass one value that you want to change, that file descriptor you want to change, and you won't tell like you want to change to 3, you want to change to 4, you want to change to 5. You don't tell the system, so it already reassigns the lowest numbered value. While in dupe 2 you tell save stdin I want it to change back to 0. So now save stdin will change from 3 to 0 again. So here if you see, so stdin will again change back to 0. I hope dupe and dupe 2 are clear.
Now, can you explain two again? Yes, so in dupe, one thing is clear that uh, if I want to change 0, I want to change this read again to new file descriptor. So it will change 0 to 3. Why? Because 3 was free. Now if I again call dupe 1 over here, what it will give me? It will give me 4. Why? Because 4 was available, right? Now if I call dupe 0 or dupe 1 again, it will give me file descriptor as 5. Getting my point? So it is giving me some random file descriptor. While in dupe 2, I'm telling the system like I want 0 to be assigned as my new file descriptor. I don't want 4, I don't want 5. If I have written dupe instead of dupe 2, save as tdin will be stored in 4. Okay, because 0, 1, 2, 3 were already assigned. Okay, so it's just we are telling that I want 0 to be reassigned. 0 as my new file descriptor, new save stdin file descriptor. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so these two concepts you are going to use uh, in the inter-process communication. You have already worked with system calls, so process of doing that will be same, exactly same. Okay, so you can proceed with these three assignments. You will find this on online. Okay, and if you face any issues, you can connect